Speaking of tech, what's your prediction for 2024 when it comes to the tech market? Do you believe that tech will be in a boom year next year?
I believe so. We talked about Apple and Google earlier. I think kudos to Zuckerberg and family. I hope your knee heals fast. I came back to Toronto. I didn't play no basketball this time. Shot a fast. I'm feeling good though. I think Meta is going to have an amazing year. I think they're being slept on in the AI race, and I think they're going to make some adjustments there as well. I haven't talked to anybody on the inside, but I can kind of see things lining up. Like as their team is being more streamlined and more focused, I'm looking to see some innovation there. So like the big five are going to remain incredible, but I think Nvidia is going to drag a lot of the market up. Hopefully AMD will come out of a slumber, but I think Meta will do great. Apple will do great. Google. Yeah, the broad and Qs, the triple Qs will do pretty well in 2024 before they announce we are in a recession. So we probably will melt up for a while before we have a strong pullback or correction.
Do you think, and I agree with you, but there's a part of me that says that this is the unfortunate part, that there will be continuous layoffs in the tech sector.
Yes.
Because companies, number one, and we saw it this year with pretty much all of them, maybe outside of Apple, that had substantial layoffs, which helps bring up profitability. I want to preface that by saying, unfortunately, these are people that are losing jobs, but there's going to be a battle between automation and human skills as AI becomes more prevalent inside of business models. And so if we talk about those two pieces, 2023, we saw the beginning of it. 2024 and 2020, the future is headed that way. And so more layoffs will happen, which will cause more profit for these companies, but that will lead more people to being unemployed, which then again helps the inflation number come down.
Yeah,
an unfortunate series of events, but I think this is where it's headed.
I agree 1,000%. Unfortunately, a lot of more people will be laid off, and I think we're entering a interesting era where there won't be a soft landing and the economy will be rougher, but the stock environment will be a lot better as a result. It's unfortunate. You would think if more people are being laid off, it will have an inverse effect, but it's more capital available for the company, and you're not investing as much into human capital, which puts more money on the books and helps you raise profit margin. Like every business comes down to how much money are you keeping in. Nvidia, one of the hottest tech stocks on earth, high price point, high profit, 57% profit margin.
Crazy.
I don't know why people aren't looking at that number. That's better than the drug business, Sackler family or PMF. I don't care who you pick. Listen, they have a legal tech cartel right now. And the companies that could have bought them out early, I know they are mad that they did not. Their CEO is another CEO you don't hear much about outside of Nvidia. Not saying he doesn't have other extracurricular affairs, but I don't know what they are. I like my CEOs incredibly focused.
Yeah.
And as a result, they're dominating. Eli Lilly, another one. Can anyone in chat tell me what the CEO of Eli Lilly does on the weekend? No clue, unless you live in Indianapolis. No clue. Focused. You have to be lean, especially when we are pre-recession, high inflation, and companies are not performing. And like Rashad, like you said, the cream is going to rise to the top. Yeah, I know everyone think we party all the time and not focused. Even the parties are business. The walkthrough is a business. The walkout is business. All of it's business. Stay focused if you want to get rich. If I made you money, please put yes in chat.
Yeah. I wanted this, and my final thought. I've been hearing a lot of chatter, and we've been talking about it all year. Recession. That will be happening in 2024. But it's interesting. What definition of recession are we expecting? Because I mean, two negative quarters by definition is a recession. We covered this early in the year, and then the president spoke about it. And some of the tech companies, 2022 felt like a recession. 2023 was sort of a rebound year. We're talking about the growth of Nvidia. Microsoft has done well. Apple has been up almost 20%. Amazon, same thing. Which definition of a recession are they talking about?
For the first time in a long time, I'm going to say, I don't know. They're changing the rules. Like a 3-point is now a 1-point. Like, hey, this a free throw or not? They're changing the rules as they go along.
I mean, I think that it's not going to be a recession next year for the simple fact it's an election year. So they're going to do everything that they possibly can. The Federal Reserve, the president is not just one person; it's a whole administration. So nobody wants to just lose their jobs. That's the golden rule of life.
What's the date of the election? I mean to cut you off.
November.
I believe it's the 7th next year.
The 8th they'll announce it.
On the 8th.
By the way, I won, but by the way.
Yeah, no, I mean, it's no way. I mean, it would have to be uncontrollable where they just can't stop it, right?
Yeah.
Which that could potentially happen as well. But they're going to try everything that they possibly can to avoid a recession. Like I said, not just the president, but when you look at Congress, when you look at the Senate, when you look at everybody that is a Democrat for sure, they're going to do everything that they possibly can, or a government appointed from the Democrats, the president. They're going to do everything that they can to make sure that at the very least the boat stays afloat for this year.
I agree.
Because obviously that's tremendously bad if we go into a deep recession the year of an election.
Yeah,
I don't think that's going to happen.
November 5th. Election day next year is November 5th. But that's kind of to the point I was going to make. It was we were in one, and then they technically wouldn't call it one because some of the metrics didn't meet it, the definition. But the negative quarters did meet it. The 2 negative quarters did meet.
Yeah.
There were CPI, like PPI, all these numbers didn't match recession. So it's like how are we defining it? You know what I mean?
That's a great area. And going to what you were saying, Rashad, I posted this last week, but U.S. banks have found a new way to unload risk as they scramble to adapt to a tighter regulation environment using synthetic risk transfers. So what that tells me is there's a whole bunch of bad debt hanging around, but if I reclassify it, how they did this recession, recession won't land when it's supposed to. It's kind of like felons when y'all get caught cheating. You're like, no, that's just my cousin. I was helping to take in the groceries. You know what I'm saying?
No, real ones don't cheat. You heard
real ones don't cheat, right? Ever.
Shout out to Jeezy.
Shout out to Jeezy, boy, legendary. That's fascinating. What they doing with these synthetic transfers. That's fascinating.
So fascinating to me.
Yeah, I said, boy, you good. Nia was good too.
Yeah, for sure. But yeah, I don't think that, I don't think they're gonna let it happen. It's gonna be a lot of money thrown at the economy, a lot of stimulus, or whatever it takes. Whatever it takes.
At all costs.
Make sure it gets done. That's the rule.
Yeah.
Number one rule during an election. So we will see. It will be interesting to see how the stock market moves in 2024. But I read articles today that they said that Apple might be the catalyst for a tech boom.
Shout out to my baby. Kudos to everybody at Tim Cook, everybody in HQ. Stay there. Shout out to those who I've met in Toronto who work in Apple. Hey, load up. The rich are only going to get richer. Just ride along with the whale. I know some of you want a new, the IWM Russell 2000 mid cap falling apart, bond market falling apart. How long do you need to hear us scream 2 tech 2 index before you just